I'd like to welcome to the stage Rogier Van Enk from Finnair. He is the SVP of Customer Experience. We're going to be talking about transforming loyalty and retailing at Finnair, but looking beyond traditional things like the frequent flyer programs and looking beyond NDC and One Order as well. So, Roger, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
I'd like to start simply by asking why is retailing important at Finnair?
It's super important, but I'm going to first start off just telling a little bit more about who Finnair is. I'm assuming most of you might, but we're a mid-sized carrier. We are based in Finland. We operate to US and in Europe, and we've used to fly a lot to Asia, but now we're operating a hub 20 minutes away from the Russian border, so it's become a little bit more difficult. But maybe most importantly, we're the official airline of Santa Claus. So if there's anything you remember us with, it's that, so be nice. So why is retailing important? Retailing is important for three reasons. One, it will, and I think it's different for whichever airline, but I think maybe it's helpful for the vendors, the suppliers, and the audience as well to know. So for us, it's been about driving revenue, particularly unit revenue, and that's through many different ways. So being able to sell more ancillaries, being able to do dynamic pricing. So that means that I think most people know, but airlines tend to have prices, 26 booking classes, etc. So with retailing, advanced versions of retailing, you can spread out your pricing and have a bit more personalized pricing. And we see that having about a 4% increase to our RASK. So 4% for an airline is massive. And our business case has been really built around that. So 4%, again, airlines typically are a few billion euro businesses. 4% on top of that is massive. The second main thing that we're trying to achieve is improving our customer experience. So when a customer books through Finnair.com, and I think this will probably be the same for most airlines, but what we see is the NPS of that customer is between 7 to 10 points higher than if they book through the trade. And I'm not saying our trade partners are poor. Some of them probably have an NPS that's higher than if the customer booked through direct. But on average, a customer that books direct, uses our retailing capabilities, has an NPS, again, that's about 7 to 10 points higher. So customers are happier, and we make more money. And then the third area why we think that retailing is important is cost reduction. We really want to simplify the processes. We want to automate a lot. Digital technology allows us to do that. A lot of the tech we have is quite old. It's quite outdated. It's very manual. We typically have quite big teams handling in the call centers and in revenue accounting and various other areas. And if we were able to streamline that and automate that, I believe there's a huge cost reduction element to this as well.
What about the potential to use retailing to differentiate Finnair from competitors? Is that something you all believe is an opportunity?
Yeah, I think it's a huge opportunity. So again, we are a mid-sized carrier. We need to choose the battles that we fight. And we have chosen that this is one of the battles that we want to be a forerunner. We're not going to be a forerunner in everything, but in this area, we definitely want to be a forerunner. Again, we're talking about that 4% additional margin that you're getting on top of your revenue. And it's something we really think is important. We are operating a hub next to the Russian border. We need to be very creative. So we fly over the North Pole. Santa's taught us how to do that. But there's also things that we need to do related to our technology and the way we interact with customers that definitely needs to be renewed. So it's very important for us that we are a front runner in this space, which means maybe we're a laggard in other areas.
Okay. What steps has Finnair taken to be retailing ready? And what are the challenges that you have faced along the way?
Right, so for us, our retailing journey or transformation has consisted of 3 phases. So about 10 years ago, and I think many airlines have embarked on a similar trajectory, some haven't, but about 10 years ago, we decoupled our front end from our back end. So our digital experience, so it's sometimes called an experience layer and the front end, whatever that might be. And it has given us a lot of control of the digital experience of our customers, whether that's in flight or whether that's the app or whether that's the Finnair.com. It also has given us a ton of headache, because suddenly you need to hire, very talented designers, developers, etc., to build your own solutions. You need to be ready 24/7 in case something breaks. So it gives a huge headache. But we think it's worth it because it provides a ton of flexibility, allows you to do many new things. that you wouldn't be able to do if you were buying a ready-made solution, a ready-made front end from a supplier, for example. The second phase for us has been the distribution transformation. I think we've been quite bold at that. We've been hoping that the industry moved along a little bit faster. Like Timur said in the morning, the industry, we need to do this together, otherwise we really don't go there. But we really will only capture that 4% additional margin if we get NDC penetration much higher and we get our website being the preferred channel of choice for our customers. That's when we get the 4%. It's not through Edifact. So that has been very important, this distribution transformation, the second phase. The third phase is the offer and order management transformation. So once you get your front end decoupled and NDC and .com becomes much more important part of your sales, then you can renew the back end. Then the business case works for that. The complexity works for that because you want to minimize the transformation between the old and the new. And so we have embarked with a supplier, Amadeus. I think we're one of the first to do that. And we're building with them now a completely new offer and order management system. And at the moment, all the PNRs are being processed as kind of orders in the background, or they're currently translated. And at some point within the next few months, everything will be on native orders moving forward. So it's very exciting for us. Again, everything is very driven towards those three pillars: getting more money into the company, improving the customer experience, and reducing cost.
So are you starting to do offer creation, like dynamic offer creation yet, or is that something you're waiting for the Amadeus?
No, so it's one of our quick wins is to do that. IATA produced it was a year ago or something like that, a grid, a matrix about what dynamic offers means, because it means different things for different airlines. So for us, dynamic pricing, so your package or your offer is maybe not so dynamic, but the pricing attached to it is dynamic. We're quite advanced from that perspective, together with many other airlines. But I think a lot of that 4% comes from there. And then having a completely dynamic product, that's what we're building right now.
And are you doing any experimentation with how you promote or attach an ancillary offer with a base product to your customers and learning from this as part of your retailing readiness?
Yeah, we do a ton of experimentation. So we looked at public sources. Finland is a small country, I'm aware of that, but Finnair.com is the biggest e-commerce player, biggest web shop in Finland. Once we discovered that, we had a completely different mindset of how we approached our e-commerce solutions. I would probably say that for most airlines, your web store is the biggest in the country. Our web shop is bigger than, I saw Max here, but bigger than Amazon. It's bigger than Google in terms of ads, not in terms of traffic, but in terms of sales. So it's a very big web store, and I think that's something we're very proud of. We need to be very careful also. We have over 2 million sessions every week going through the store, and making a small change that hits your conversion, it can either work really well for you or it can work really badly for you. So we constantly do A/B testing. I think most of the airlines in the room are doing that, and many of the vendors are providing solutions related to that. But because we have this strong background of A/B testing, it allows us also to do product A/B testing to see if we offer something a little bit different, does it entice customers to buy? At the moment, though, we're still working in this dual world of legacy or classic and new. So it's difficult, but we are, I think, starting with this type of stuff.
Okay. All right, great. And then lastly, Finnair recently joined Avios. Right. That's pretty big, basically killing your own loyalty program and going with another airline's ecosystem. Tell us more about this. What is the future of loyalty?
Yeah, I would say we enhanced our loyalty program, but no, but you're right. It's very exciting times for us. When I look at the future, one of my predictions a few years ago was that we're going to see an improvement in the customer experience. And the reason I thought that was because you see a lot more consolidation happening in the industry. NDC and a few other, and all the digital work allows you to differentiate your product a bit more. And once you have those, airlines will invest more in their product. And I think what I've seen is maybe on the bottom end, the economy lights, the basic economy product, maybe there we've unbundled further as an industry, but the business classes and et cetera, we've invested a lot on that. I think the next big breakthrough in the next few years will be this loyalty space. IAG Loyalty, so the mother company of British Airways in Iberia, they have an Avios program. It's not a loyalty program, really. It's a loyalty currency. And what we've chosen to do is we have our own loyalty program. It's fully on our balance sheet. We have full control. But we're using the Avios currency with our members so that they can earn them and they can buy them and they can redeem them. And that's something very unique. It's a bit like, well, we're in Holland right now, Holland joining the euro. So Holland has its own central bank. It's still doing a lot of issuing its own money. When you look at the coins here in Holland, you'll see it's kind of a Dutch version of it, but it's part of the euro. And the belief there is that it makes the European Union or the Eurozone members, as a reserve currency, it makes you get added values related to that. And I believe this joining the Avios system is the same. So what Avios is doing is a bit like the euro. We're joining that. It's very exciting. Qatar has done it just before us. I suspect the IAG Loyalty folks are very actively trying to find more partners to become part of the ecosystem, whether that is airlines or hotels, it can be whatever. And I suspect that the Star Alliance or the Miles & More team, Lufthansa Group and others, and Air France KLM, are looking at this as well and saying, hey, how do they react to this? Because if IAG Loyalty really pulls this off, it gets a lot of partners involved, they will need to do something similar. And I think that will be a huge step change for customers in particular. It will be hugely added value. You'll be able to use a currency, use it among many partners. And it will be very exciting times.
Okay, great. I wish we had more time to talk about this. Unfortunately, we don't, but thank you very much, Roger.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.